the range of free testosterone. I know have you already stated that on the channel many times. You don't like just blanket numbers, but people are always asking about free testosterone ranges. But is it really important? Is it the free testosterone that makes you feel better?
Yes, but that doesn't mean that everything else is moot. Free testosterone is certainly essential. And, everyone always wants ranges, right? So I'm going to give you a range, but I'm going to give it to you with an asterisk. And that asterisk is that it is not a range that is a one size fits all. There are people that feel better slightly below. There are very rare few people that do need a little bit more. And I hate saying that because every guys always think more is better with testosterone. So they're always going to say, "Hey, I'm the guy that needs more." And I will tell you, there are a lot of side effects that come with higher free T. And oftentimes, what guys refer to as estrogen side effects, they're actually high free T side effects. So that comes from crushing their SHBG with improper protocols, and that lowers your total T, which makes them think they need more T, which actually exacerbates the problem of further lowering SHBG and increasing free T. It's a vicious cycle, which is very difficult to explain to patients. When I train providers, I put this on a whiteboard to make sense of it for them, but it's a little hard for people to visualize until they truly understand what's going on. Um, Free T, most of my guys, I would say 90% of my men report feeling symptom resolution to an extent when their free T falls in a range of between 20 nanograms per deciliter and 35 nanograms per deciliter. That is generally where you're going to find the biggest proportion of people who report resolution to some of the symptoms on their Adams score. You're going to have the outliers below where they may be at 17, 18 nanograms and they feel great. You may have the guys that, in that range that don't feel well and you got to push them a little bit, and that's rare. But overall, I would say in a nanogram scenario, that is where most fall in. And I will say that a lot of labs check picograms per milliliter. You got to move the decimal over to the left one to convert to nanograms. And then you have nanomoles over in Europe, which is a completely different formula. That is 28.8 multiple to get the nanogram number. So you got to do a little bit of math. But I would here's the thing, to alleviate all this possible confusion, my answer is always the same. Find a competent provider who truly understands this stuff, and then the rest will just fall into place.